What's up, everybody, and welcome to another Seven Figure Photographer Live. It is not such a beautiful day outside. It's nasty and windy. Funny story. I was doing a thing this weekend for a convention, and I started to introduce myself by saying, what's up, everybody? It's another Seven Figure Photographer Live. Anyway, I started that out, messed it up. I thought it was funny. I get too used to doing this. So anyway, welcome everybody. I hope you guys are doing well and excited today. We actually had a topic that came up somewhat from today's 30-day lead challenge topic, as well as a combination of some stuff that we did this weekend. What?
I hit my hand.
And Mia hit her hand. And so anyway, here's my question. If business was a game, what is the strategy you would use to win? The cool thing about business is that it is a game, but a game that anyone can win. So that's what we're going to talk about today, coming up here shortly after this. What's up, guys? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sam Marvin, and I have been in the photography industry for 25 plus years. While I love being a creative, business is my passion, and elevating the industry of photography is my focus. I created the Seven Figure Photographer to share my journey to seven figures and help others find their way too.
That's amazing.
All right, so a couple of different things to keep in mind today. If you are joining us via YouTube from one of the links on Facebook, remember to make sure to hit open in app and then select the live chat at the bottom. If you do that, you'll be able to comment and we'll be able to see who's on here. Please make sure to do that. If you are here hanging out with us, comment, say hi, tell us where you're watching from. Or just ask some questions as we go throughout, and we'd love to answer those questions with you. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe. That way you get the earliest and fastest notifications about when we're going to be live. We go live every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, for those of you who don't know. Also, I can't even talk today. Remember, our podcast is live. It's the exact same content as what you're hearing here. But if you don't have time to watch this live every day or go back and watch it, but you have the opportunity to maybe plug in some headphones or while you're driving to work and you can, or driving to that next photography job. Nobody has jobs. We all do this for a living, right? You can listen to it on the podcast. Just go to the website, the7figurephotographer.com, and you'll find the podcast there about 3/4 of the way down the page. Also, if you need any help with your business, want to know what really is next for your business, what you can do to take the next steps in your business, join us for Coffee with Sam on the website, the7figurephotographer.com. At the top menu bar, Coffee with Sam. It's a free 30-minute consultation. We'll sit down, do a little Zoom video call, and I'll ask you a bunch of questions about your business and figure out what you really need next, what I could do to help you, or what you could do to help yourself. But it's free. Check it out. Take advantage of it if you haven't done it already. Get in there and sign up for Coffee with Sam. So there's a couple of different things I want to talk about today. James Wood, welcome. Glad to see you on here. I'm going to talk about games. Now, my wife she loves game night, and it's something that I actually fought for a lot of years. Mia loves to play card games, board games, all sorts of stuff like that. And for some reason, at some point in time, we decided to start playing some games, and now it's become a pretty common occurrence in our world. We've been playing a lot of games. One game that I bought a couple years ago was something I bought because I thought that I could help my son with some things that were real life experience. Now, everybody's played Monopoly, right? And Monopoly is kind of a great representation of life. Like, you have children, or actually you don't, not in Monopoly. Life you do. But in Monopoly, it's about real estate, stuff like that. Now, I read a book from Robert Kiyosaki, I believe, is who it was. And one of the things he talked about was this game that he had created called Cash Flow. It's not a cheap game. It's about $180. But I bought it, and one of the cool things about it is you quickly learn what the strategy to winning the game is. The game is actually very similar to the concepts of real life. And you learn that the strategy to it is to create passive income in your life early before you make too much money, because it's harder to create passive income to replace your daily or your salary with passive income. It's easier to do at a younger age with fewer bills, expenses, than it is to do it at an older age where you might be a doctor or something like that. Once you get out of or get enough passive income to be greater than your expenses, your monthly expenses, you get out of what's called the rat race, which really is life. And
much.
you can make bigger investments and go forward. So the idea behind this game is it teaches you about investing, taking chances, and how to grow in that aspect. But the point is, and what I've learned about it, is that it really is the game of life, and it is a game, and there's strategy to it. Now, mind you, I understand the strategy. I never win the game because Mia always gets lucky.
Oh, I
That's
think
really-
Michelle wins more than I do.
That's really what this is about. Mia just gets lucky. She
No.
literally keeps her.
No, I win legitimately when I win.
Like I get in, like I get out of the rat race first, and then she just happens to roll the perfect amount of dice to land on her space. So that aspect is just luck. It's just luck, Mia. That's all it is. But anyway, my point in all of this is that every game has a strategy. And oftentimes we have a tendency to fight the game and fight the strategy, and we never understand why we just can't catch a break, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's it.
So next I want to talk about social media. And social media really is, we talked about this today in our 30-day lead challenge, it really is just a game. Like the concept is they set the rules and they change the rules all the time. My son is notorious for this. My son always creates these games and he sets the rules for the games. And when the things don't go his way, he changes the rules. So social media is exactly the same thing. Facebook changes the game, changes the rules of the game, the engagement of the game. And what happens is when they make these changes, they reward the people that play the game, right? Mia, tell us about some of the game that Facebook plays or expects us to play.
They expect you to post content that creates conversation and builds a community. They expect you not to use words that are like negative. Do not shoot a friend. You're
Yeah.
going to take them to I am going to enjoy taking pictures of you. Don't tell them you're going to enjoy shooting them later. That's not good.
Unless it's a photo shoot, all one word.
All one word.
But if
you
it's
can
a
get away
photo
with that.
and then shoot, you might be in trouble.
Yeah. But they do. And if you want to know what their rules are, all of the social media platforms have like dedicated spaces where they tell you exactly what to do and exactly what not to do. Yeah.
So ultimately, Facebook's goal is to get people there and keep people there the longest. That's why community interaction does really well there, because ultimately people end up spending time in the communities that they love. But still, Facebook rewards people with more interaction based on if they play the game well. For instance, if you keep people in Facebook, if you create links to other parts of Facebook that are all within Facebook, instead of taking them out of Facebook, you're rewarded and your stuff does better. If more people engage on your comments or comment on your comments or like your comments or like your posts,
Yes.
that's the game. And so what you have to understand is that social media is all about playing the game and living by the rules that they set forth. Instagram. A couple years ago, Instagram started Stories, which was a duplication or a copycat of what Snapchat already had. And the game was, or what it became was, the more people that posted stories had better results in growth and recognition based on following that algorithm or playing
Being
that
an
game.
early adapter.
Yeah, being an early adopter. Same thing with TikTok. TikTok does the same exact thing. The more people, the more engagement that you get, the more people that like your comments or like your posts, comment on your post. Again, having calls to action or interaction with your posts gets you recognized more. For instance, I posted, and also whatever is on trend. They like to follow the trends. I posted a video on TikTok during the pandemic about the whole toilet paper crisis, and got a lot of people commenting on it, and it went over 500,000 views. So it's just all about learning and understanding the game and how to play the game. Okay. Did you have something you wanted to?
Well, I think with TikTok too, because we've been trying to work on our TikTok game.
Yeah.
So I've been doing some research. The easiest way to build a community there is to do the duets. So they want you to do the duets or to tag other people on TikTok. Because again, it's that same thing. You want to stay on TikTok, but there's not a lot of, they don't have the same amount of things. Where like on Instagram, you can go to a story, you can go to a reel, you can do a Facebook Live. TikTok, you're limited to a post, or you can do lives on TikTok if you want to. So the things that I've been reading in the last few days have just talked about how if you do the duets that they do, or if you tag other people, like I liked this person's take on this, or I used their audio, things like that will bump you in their game. So.
Okay. So, and that's good to know. I didn't realize that duets were stronger there, but I don't think TikTok has any problem getting people to stay on their platform.
No, not yet. Wait till the next thing comes out, then they might.
Yeah, and it's really funny because, like, I mean, you see how things bounce back and forth and how, like, people, what is a duet, Jennifer S? A duet is, like, for instance, if I do a video on TikTok and somebody posts a side-by-side video of that. One really popular way is like you see a video of somebody like trying to dig something out of a well, I saw this one, it was really gross. Like somebody was
Why do you always have gross ones?
I don't know, because those are the ones that I recognized. But this lady was like had a spoon and she was digging her belly button and it like
Ew.
flung out, and then the duet was somebody on the other screen like where it like shot stuff like all over their face, and it was like that's a duet, more or less. So
yeah, you do side by side, or another person can be doing a dance and you repeat the dance using theirs so that both are being shown.
Yeah, and another one that I've seen is like how like one person is singing and then the other person sings the other voice, like they do a duet like that. So it's kind of like a side by side. I don't know if when you do video and then switch to another video if that's considered a duet or not.
You have to specifically duet the post that the person's
there's actually a button that allows you to duet them, so hopefully that that works. I'm not sure if Tim says that I look super cute today.
I'm taking that one.
Oh, you're taking that one?
Yeah, I need a boost today.
But like I think maybe he's talking about me because like
my hair is extra shiny today.
My hair is extra shiny today?
Yeah, it looks
probably
really
a little
shiny
extra
right
product. Who knows? Tim, let's do a poll because this is going to be fun. Who do you think Tim was saying?
At least I'll finally win a poll.
Look, probably will. I don't even know if it's a question or. Let's go, Sam or Mia. All right, let's see how this one goes.
But see, that's a great example of getting people to interact just on your posts. So little things like you just did.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a great way to get interaction. And the more interaction you get, like the people talking who are not the host, the better. Like Facebook loves that. Yeah. Instagram loves that.
So far, I'm winning.
Wait, what?
How
are you winning?
100%.
Dude, did you just like end it right as soon as you like...
He says I was talking to me, a booty shooter. He sent me a text message this morning, like it's 7 o'clock in the morning. He's like, "What's up, booty shooter?" Yeah.
Wait, because it says Sam and Sam. You're a butthole.
Oh, did I win? That's why I'm over here laughing because
I didn't look at it.
I'm like last minute. I'm like, oh, I could put Sam for both spots. So yeah, I win. I guess you didn't win that poll, Nia.
You're awesome.
Oh shoot. Okay, what were you?
I don't know. Well, just that, like the interactions. Like Facebook wants they want somebody to post something, and then they want in the comments for people to have interactions with together.
So make sure, and that's one thing, like, again, playing the game, you got to make sure that, like, how often do we post things, but we don't ever actually have, like, a call to engagement? People always talk about a call to action. I call it a call to engagement or a call for engagement. And it's just really all about having something in there like, I hate it when this happens. What's your least favorite thing? Like, ask them to engage. Like, ask them for an opportunity to engage. That's partly the reason that we always say, like on YouTube, we say, tell us where you're viewing from, because getting that engagement, that commenting in there is actually really strong for our involvement with YouTube. Like, in order for us to even get to a point where we can monetize YouTube, we have to get, I think it's 40,000 hours of watch time,
which is a lot.
That means that we have to have, that many people watching our videos over and over again. Or
so if you guys want to put us on like repeat while you go to sleep, we'd appreciate that.
Exactly. Just turn on YouTube and go to my playlist and just hit playlist and just hit repeat and just let it play in the back. That's what we should just do.
That's what we should do. But also with your things, it doesn't always have to be like an actual call to action. If you leave your posts like slightly vague, so that people have to say, oh, what do you mean by that? Yeah. And then it gives you a chance to come back, and it opens up conversation.
So, and that's interesting because in TikTok, like one of their big things and one of the workarounds people have figured out is that they'll post a video with like maybe a question up front, but then, or like just wait till the end.
Yep.
And then you're waiting and waiting and waiting till the end. You get to the end of the video and it's nothing, or there's the answer. Like, I've seen this with jokes a lot. They'll put like a joke with a punchline, but the punchline comes literally like a tenth of a second at the end. So you have to watch the video again to be able to even hit pause to see the punchline for the joke. So those are all different ways. Again, that's learning how to play the game to make it work for you. Now, the next part I want to talk about is actually one that really kind of spurred this whole concept, or this whole video today, is print competition. In the state level or PPA level, we have the IPC, which is International Print Competition, I think is what it's called. But the PPA level, we have print competition. State level, we have competition. And this weekend we had print competition, and it was a little bit harsh. Like it really, it was a tough print competition for our state level. And I'm going to throw Bart under the bus here just because, he was there,
and he's amazing.
And he actually did well in print competition this week, and whereas everybody else didn't do so well. But I remember him sitting behind me, and he was just livid about everything, and he was complaining about so much. And Bart, this isn't to rip on you, but he was complaining about so much to do with print competition. And one of the things he kept saying is, oh, it's not processed enough in Photoshop. It's not photoshopped enough. Like, if you would have just photoshopped it more, you would have done better. And it really kind of hit home with me, because it's about the game. And people like get upset because print competition is like have these parameters, and people have to kind of step up to play the game. And that's really what it's about. Like, if you don't learn how to play the game, then you suffer in print competition. But that's what people are missing out, is if you would just learn how to strategize the game and play the game, you can use it to your advantage. Now, ultimately, we can complain about it all we want. We can complain because we're not doing well. We can make every excuse for why things didn't go the way that we wanted them to go. But ultimately, that's the same as us just not learning and understanding the rules to the game. And if we take the time to learn the rules to the game, then we can perform better at that game. Just like in like football. I could go out onto an NFL field right now and try to compete, but I
get your butt kicked.
Would get my butt kicked. And part of that is the game in that scenario is constant conditioning, constant workout, constant practice. And those are the things that you have to learn to play in order to compete in that game. So I think that that's really an important aspect in our businesses. And what we have to understand is that business really is just a game. And what that game is it's learning how to get people in the door. And it's learning how to put our mindset or our concerns or our fears to the side, and to how to work with people, how to play the game with people, understanding that it's not what I want, but it's what they want. And if we can understand how to play the game of what people want instead of what we want, we can. I learned I hate the game. Oh, and that's actually, Tim, you're a good example of this. Like, you have a tendency to get in your own head and to hate a lot of the parts of the game instead of just learning to play the game. And that's not like a dig on you. It's just like, those are the things. Like, I've had a lot of situations, a lot of games that I don't like to play. Like
Cash Flow Against Mia.
Yeah, Cash Flow Against Mia. But no, like, for instance, in the business side, like, I was telling you the other day that, like, I had this fear for a long time that I didn't want to post anything on social media about having openings because I didn't want people to think that I wasn't busy. But that's part of the game, like that, like, to show that there's not much left. And I even recognize, like, people would call me on a regular basis and be like, I'm sure that you're already booked up, but I figured I'd just try to see if I could get in. And I'm like, I got plenty of days available. Like, so there's so much of it that is really it's just a game. And it's when you can understand what the game is and you play it enough, and that's really what it's about, is when you've played it enough, you start to understand. But that's the biggest thing. Are you leaving yourself the opportunity to understand? Or are you just playing the game and oblivious to the strategies, oblivious to the strategies that other people have learned and making happen? And there's a lot of people out there willing to share the strategies, but you still have to play the game.
Can I put something in?
Yep.
So, like, I've never participated in print comp, so I don't have too much of a background to go on it, but I've watched it now for, like, 3 years, I think.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that I've seen with my friends who get, like, it's hard when you put your own work up there and somebody critiques it. But I think, like Sam's saying, you have to be able to take yourself out of it and recognize that what you do to sell, Sam sells good. I mean, this business runs good, right? And not to throw him under the bus, but, like, it didn't do good this weekend for him for print comp. But they're two totally separate entities. We have another friend, Tiffany, and we were talking, and she's like, what I shoot and sell to my clients has nothing to do with what I shoot and present at print competition.
Exactly.
And I think that's that differentiate. How do you say it?
Differentiation.
Yeah, that point where.
Say that again. What was that?
Differentiation.
Yeah.
I think that's the point, though, where you have to be able to separate yourself out. They're both your works, but this is your work for your clients, and it has nothing to do with your print comp work. And because I see Sam do it all the time, he's like, "Oh, my pictures suck. They can't even merit." Well, they might suck, but they support my family, so they can't suck too bad, right? Like, yeah. There's a difference between that. So I just beg y'all to separate it.
I also look at, like, and this is one of the points that I made, if you remember, at print competition, was that, you know, I look at me, who prepped my images, got them ready, and posted or got them submitted to print competition 3 hours before, like, within 3 hours of the deadline. Okay. That's all the effort I put into print competition. So when you put that little effort in, do you really deserve to win? Yes, if you understand the game, different story. Now let's take it to a different level. We look at, like, Bart and Annie. They prepped their images just a couple days before. They didn't put a ton of work into it. They posted them. He did better. But you look at, like, Dennis Hammond and Sherry Hammond.
Oh,
they literally spend all year long prepping, getting ready. Now, they even submitted some images, which was really shocking, because I noticed in the PPA or the ASP, his same tree picture, the one tree picture
Yeah,
that did
I
well,
saw it in
was
there.
a color version in the ASP.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And then also the image that he did best with last year, she was clearly side by side with him
Because
shooting.
hers was a square image.
Because
of it.
hers was a square image, but almost the exact same
Yep.
thing the following year. It didn't do as well as his, but like I was noticing that, and it really was kind of like, again, understanding the game, playing the game. If you're willing to play the game, then you have a better chance at winning. But how often do we, just like Tim said, I learned I hate the game. How often do we fail because we decide I don't want to play the game because
and
I don't
fail
like
by
the
not-
results?
By giving up.
Yeah. So, but if we just give up, then yeah, we're never going to win at the game. Or if we choose not to play the game
Which is what I've
because
been doing.
we're
Scared.
we're overwhelmed, we're whatever it may be, naturally we're not going to do well in the game. But if you play the game long enough, you're going to get pushed down in the mud. You're going to struggle. You're going to learn. If you keep your eyes open and you're willing to learn, you're going to learn how to play that game better, and you're going to succeed at that game. Tim says, would get me more frustrated than anything else. Oh, print comp to me feels like what you said when they changed the rules to the game every year. I would go back and make changes only to have it ripped apart again. It was a never-ending thing that would get me more frustrated than anything else. And Tim, I would really urge you. This is actually something that I watched, and it was really frustrating to me this year. 3 of the judges for our print competition. Now, I do hold our judging for PPA standard much higher than any other print competition out there. Because I know that they have a very specific expectation. They have specific rules, specific everything. I understand that. When you come to sync, one thing that I noticed is the judging was incredibly gentle. I was shocked. I put just as minimal amount of effort into sync as I did into state competition, and I merited all 6 of my images. And I was shocked at it. I took those same 6 images with the exception of 1 and put them into state competition, where 3 of the judges were the same as in sync competition, and they destroyed my images. So there's something to be said for that. Now, I trust more at the state level because I trust it to be more consistent. And I think that one of the most powerful things that I've ever learned was listening to print competition and hearing how they do it and understanding that it is a game and that it is learning and understanding. Now, what can this do for your business or for your imagery? What it does for you is when you start to understand the game and you start to learn what they're looking for, how it can make you better as a photographer is starting to recognize those things that they're expecting and searching for those in your images and finding those things in your images. For instance, when I go to look at images for print comp, I had a couple images that I was like, these are shoo-ins, these are absolutes. I went and I pulled those images and I started to notice all the little things that I knew the judges were going to notice. And it shot complete holes in my images and I couldn't even post them. For instance, one was a girl with a horse and there was a weed right in front of her, a green weed right in front of her pants. And I knew that that was not going to work. And so, again, it comes down to understanding that it's a game and trying to figure out how to be good at the game. Okay? Business is no different. The game is that people have expectations, people have desires, people have things that they love, and it's understanding how to appeal to those things. And if you can't play the game, then it's likely you're going to get rolled in business. So Mia has something she wants to share, I can tell.
I do.
She's got a book open.
I've got our book open because I just read this the other day and it goes perfectly. I had to search for it. But in chapter 5, if any of you are at chapter 5, he has a part and it goes just so perfect. So get sold or be sold. Should you lie to yourself? Of course not. But you've got to get yourself sold no matter what. Rather than lying to yourself, a better alternative is to do what champions do. Champions decide to win the game with what they have to work with. They don't change teams. They make the most of the assets and strengths available to them. They play the cards they've got, and they make the most of the pot. They don't lie to themselves. They convince themselves that the only solution is winning, and they commit to the outcome only. Focus on winning whatever the game you're playing in life. And I just think
that works out perfect.
That works out perfect. And I knew it was in there, so I had to share it. There you go. Read your book.
Chapter 5.
Chapter 5.
Okay.
The most important sale.
Mic drop.
Mic drop.
Don't drop my mic, please.
No.
That wouldn't be good. So, sales is a game. It's 100% a game. Everything we do is a game. I watch my kid right now, and it's so funny because I see the games he plays. Like, he always comes to me. He's like, Dad, you know what? Never mind. The answer's probably already no. And he's playing the game because he knows that I'm going to say, what is it? Just tell me what it is. Like, and it's the same games that I used to play, except for I think parents just know because we all did it at one point in our lives. But that's what life is about. It's about learning how to play the game. And when you can make a game out of everything and you can learn to, somebody is going to win the book of the month. In fact, I need to announce that.
Don't finish. You're on a good roll. Just focus.
I was pretty much done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm going to choose a winner. You talk.
Me talk.
Yep, you talk. I'm going in real quick to find. I forgot about the business book of the month winner.
Well, Jennifer said I am not local, but I did submit in time for districts, and that was something else. I was just writing back to her that I noticed there were people, and like I say, I've never participated, and I don't know all the rules yet. I'm still trying to learn the rules for print comp, but you can participate in other states' print comps at the local level, right, before going to districts. So if you want practice or if you want to get the ideas of other people. I think the other thing we were talking on here with Tim, because I told him to stop saying that he sucks because none of you do. But all the judges, it's subjective. Like, they all come from their own background. They all come from their own, taste. And I know there's certain things they're looking for, but it's still a perspective thing. So just because it doesn't match with what you like, doesn't mean your work is crap. So just shut up, Tim, and stop it. You're all good.
Yeah, not only that, but that's a game all in itself. The more you tell yourself you suck, the more you start to believe it. So you can have your moments.
Yeah, well, and I think you do need your moments. There's times when you do just have to let those emotions hit and work through them and then move on.
Okay, looks like we have 8 people.
Here, go to you.
No, I'm going to leave it on you for... Okay, awesome. Fine. Looks like we had 8 people. So we're going to go to a random number generator. And we're going to go 1 is max, or 1 is minimum, 8 is max. Mm-hmm. We're going to generate it. And it looks like... Oh, I didn't do it. Number 7. And number 7 does not have a name on it.
Oh my goodness, of course not.
So
the whole world gets their phone number? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't know. Maybe we don't do it. We're going to draw again because they're supposed to, that's part of the giveaway. You got to give your name. And so
follow the rules, guys. Play the game.
Okay, number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tammy Lee.
Woohoo.
So I'm going to send her a quick message. Say, congrats, Tammy. You won the business book of the month 2 weeks late. Business book of the month. Send me your address so we can ship it out. Thanks for reminding me, Tim. I've been sucking at my giveaways lately. I didn't even give anything away for engagement last month. We got to do something. Yeah. Okay, so that's the winner of the business book of the month. Guys, I know this is kind of it's an interesting topic, but it really is. Life is so much. There's so much about life that is just a game. There's so much about business that's just a game. And it really, like, when you think about it, it's odds, it's statistics, it's all the things that you can think of. It's just a strategy. So what can you do to increase your odds when it comes to your strategy? And make business a game. Make it fun. Like, there's things out there where everybody out there, or like groups out there, communities out there, where they just gamify everything, and that's what drives people. Like, nobody likes to lose. There's people out there that are really competitive. So it's just part of the game. You got to play the game to win the game.
Yep.
And that's pretty much all we got for you today. Do we have any questions?
Yeah, I'm getting the link up. They asked for the business book of the month, so I'm grabbing the link here real quick for James.
What? I gave it out a month ago.
I know, but not some people
Come
are
on,
busy.
James. Sorry, I realized I wasn't live. I'm behind in commenting. You're doing fine. I gotta think of. I don't know if I've ever met Tammy Lee.
Oh,
Yeah, tell her to be sold, but get it ordered, because
it's so good.
by the end of this week, we got to be 10 chapters in. 5 chapters a week is the goal. I got to catch up because I have not done my reading, because last week was
crazy.
So
I'm loving it. I'm loving everything about it.
it's one of my favorite books of all time. Like I said, it's the book that gave me permission to be a salesman, because I always felt like a bad person being salesy or being good at sales. And so I had
Slimy
the camera
car
on you that whole
salesman.
time you were eating.
No, you didn't.
Oops.
I checked.
I'm just kidding. She's over there stuffing her face. Okay. No last minute questions?
Nope.
I hope that was beneficial.
I think so.
Let's
Worked for
have.
us.
Did we just get an applause? There we go. We just got an applause. Tim says, "LOL. I haven't even ordered the book. Worried I won't be able to catch up." Actually, it's a really easy read.
It is really easy.
This one's pretty easy, Tim. I wanted to go lighter after Traction, because Traction was a little rough.
It's nice too because the chapters are kind of short, so you feel like you've completed something.
Yeah, there's 22 chapters, so it's like they're really short chapters, but yeah, it's got a lot of good stuff in it. I don't think Grant Cardone was ever meant to be a writer, but he's got a lot of good stuff in there. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I've enjoyed it so far, so I think he's doing
Well,
good.
he wrote that one, and then he wrote like the 10X book, and like I feel like it was kind of like Gary V's books. Like, I liked them, but they weren't like mind blowing.
Yeah.
Like, listening to him talk is a little bit more of that than his book. But again, books. What's interesting about books is a lot of times books are written just for lead magnets. Like, that's all they're created for, is to generate leads and to build. Like, you look at Grant Cardone's whole thing is just about like commercial real estate, or not even commercial real estate. It's about basically residential, multi-family establishments, that kind of stuff. So he does crowdsource funding for investing in real estate. Like, that's how he got his world. He basically built a community of people, and those people, he was like, okay, I'm going to invest in this. If you want a part of it, send me $10,000. And so he'd crowdfund all this money together, and he would buy real estate investments, and you would own a percentage of that.
That's kind of cool.
Right? It's a good way. Instead of going to the banks,
a new camera for me.
we can crowdsource a new camera for you.
Yeah.
Who wants to give me a new camera? Just send your money to.
Just
We
send
don't
my
have.
money
We don't have any of
to-
those to my Venmo. Had Samuel Martin Photography. Okay, that's all we got. As long as they aren't like chapter 3 of no.
Nope.
Chapter 3 of Traction is probably the worst chapter. It was good, but it was the longest,
hard.
most drug out chapter. It was a lot. It's nothing like that, Tim.
No.
You can handle it,
No, it's great. I highly
Order
suggest
it now. What is the price on it?
It's not very much. It was
Through
$16 hardcover.
Yeah, $15.89 hardcover.
Yeah.
See, because he's just trying to get you into his stuff.
Yep.
So, okay. Peace out, people.
Dude, you could get the audio CD for $362.
The audio CD.
Yeah.
Why the heck would you need an audio CD? You can
I have no
get
idea.
it on. Actually, I don't think that's one you can get on.
Yeah,
Audible.
audio book for $16.99.
Where?
It actually says it's in your library because you already
Yeah,
have it.
because I have it.
I could log into your library. Haha.
Excuse you? I'm just kidding.
And then Kindle for $8.69.
Yeah. Okay. Peace out, people. We're gonna hit the outro.
Sam makes enough money to buy me a new camera.
What?
That's what Tim says. He says I deserve it.
She doesn't even pick up the camera she's got.
That is so not true. You just don't see me pick it up because I'm always at work.
Step it up, lady.
Whatever. Play the outro.
It's playing.